He means you're competing in this event. What? Midas thought back. Relax, the worst you can do is lose. Coach Spurs doesn't think you can win either, but he thinks you'll do better than you think you will. Oh, I see. He saw how you made the tent turn into sand and fall. Damage to the targets is rated on how much of the target is destroyed. If you could turn it into sand, it would be considered completely destroyed. Well, I guess I'm stuck here. The students lined up according to how fast they answered Coach Spurs' call. The order was Sniper, Ranger, Ion, Hollow, Saber, Chain, Frost, Isotope, Flare, Shockwave, Quake, and Midas. Sniper was quick to step up. The little Egyptian girl hoped this is where she could shine. Once Coach gave the order, she fired a beam of concussive force from both hands that shattered the steel ball. A bot placed another steel ball on the cone, and Sniper repeated her performance. A third one was placed on the cone, and Coach Spurs told her to wait. After a signal from the techs, Coach Spurs stopped to address the students. There is now a force field protecting the sphere. The force field will continue to increase its strength until you cannot destroy the target. Sniper focused her power and pulverized the sphere through the field again and again. At level 9, she was barely able to get through the field. Once the field was up to level 10, it stopped her power. Destructive force at level 9, that's very impressive. Coach Spurs motioned for her to go to the back of the line. Next up is Ranger. Ranger was able to use his illusions as an impact beam and get a 9 also. Ion used his lightning bolts, and Hollow used flame. Both had a score of 8. Saber was unable to completely fragment the target. Instead, he fired a golden half-moon of energy that cut the target in half. Chain, the German boy, was up next, and his power was quite different. He fired a steel-looking chain from his palm, like a bullet from a gun. The front end of the chain had a barbed spike on the end that shattered the target. Then the chain retracted just as fast into his hand again. "Can you hear me?" Midas thought out loud. "Of course," Virtuoso answered. "How did he do that? Is his power like mine? Can you find out?" "Hold on. He can create metal out of his body and animate it. It can come out in different shapes, but something flexible like a chain is best. He's strong and vicious in a fight. But unlike you, the chain comes from inside of him. And he has a finite amount he can make per day if he doesn't retract the chain back in. So, not like me." "No, but I'm glad to see you want to make friends." "Well, let's see how I do when my turn is up." Chain was only able to get a 6 with this kind of attack. Frost was up next. The Swedish girl was able to freeze and shatter the target again and again up to a 9. Isotope was next, and his power was deadly radiation. When he projected his power from his hands, a flowing streak of white struck the target. He melted the target until it reached a 9. Flare used flame like Hollow, but was only able to get a 7. Shockwave was next. The little girl from Taiwan told the coach, "You may want everyone to cover their ears." Coach Spurs just covered his own and nodded at the target. Shockwave fired sound waves that cracked, then shattered the target. Using her power, she almost deafened the crowd and achieved a 7. The beautiful girl Quake from Argentina stood at the ready and tried to calm her nerves. "Anytime you're ready," Coach Spurs said. Quake projected her power to vibrate and shake anything in her way. The target, the cone, and the surrounding area was powdered from her attack. A 9 was her destructive score. Midas stepped up to the spot the others had stood and waited for the bots to replace the cone and target sphere. He put his left hand in his pocket and got a lock on the sand he was using earlier. The bots finished, and Coach Spurs turned and nodded to him. Midas dropped and placed one hand on the ground. The space between his hand and the cone was sand. The cone was sand, and the target was sand instantly. The bots replaced everything with stronger materials, but he changed them just the same. Midas seemed unsure when they put the force field around the target. Much to his surprise, it didn't seem to matter. The force field reached 9, and he blew through it without trying any harder. Everyone watched intently as the force field was turned up to 10. Midas did the same as he did each time, and the target changed to sand. Next, the force field was set to maximum. The hum of the generators making the force field sounded like they were about to take off. Then a second field was erected, and a third. Coach Spurs then nodded to Midas. Midas touched the ground, and the force field made a pop sound. The target and the cone fell into a pile of sand. The force field generators went back to normal sound, and then the tech shut them off. Virtuoso was the first to applaud from the bleachers, and the others joined in. Midas felt embarrassed. He just waved to his clapping friends. Coach Spurs walked over to him and patted him on the shoulder. "That was a 10+. For someone who wasn't going to try, you did pretty well." "I don't know what to say. It wasn't that hard," Midas said. "Stick around. It gets tougher." Coach turned to all the others and spoke louder. Everyone to the bleachers in front of the pit. Same rotation. We start in 5 minutes. Get over here, Virtuoso thought to Midas. He ran to the 3 girls sitting on the bleachers. She and Bioforce were sitting on each side of Virtuoso with a hand on her shoulder. Bioforce held a hand out for Midas. He was pretty sure what was about to happen. On touching her hand, they were all teleported to the bleachers in front of the pit. Darkspeed was already sitting in the stands when they appeared. Bioforce looked to see him first, sensing his life force. She looked next and spoke up quickly. Why don't you come and join us? She said. Darkspeed didn't want to sit with anyone, but was not willing to be that kind of rude once invited. Okay. In a blink, he was next to them. She extended her hand in a shake. I'm She. Pleased to meet you. She was being very charming with smiling eyes. This is Bioforce. Bioforce followed suit and extended a hand for introductions. Once everyone was introduced, she thought out loud for Virtuoso to hear. Open the party line. It's open, Virtuoso thought. Bioforce, did you get anything on the touch? That was so sneaky, Midas thought. Super speed all the way around. Heals really fast. Strong, very durable. Controls his friction and inertia. Controls darkness. Sees in the dark, super senses, and mental shield. His powers are mostly mature. He's also very smart, like you, She, Bioforce thought. I could have told you that, Midas thought. How? She thought. We have him on our... Midas' thoughts were cut off. Do we want them to know about our spreadsheet? Virtuoso thought only to Midas. How long will all that stay a secret? And we get to make friends with it, he thought back. That was a great fight you had with Glimmer, Darkspeed said to She. Thanks, I think you played Ranger and Ion perfectly, She said. I guess we can share information with them, if you think we should. You're asking me to make the decision? Midas thought back. Do you think that's a smart move? It's a moment of weakness. Besides, I figure there is a 2 in 3 chance that either you or I will be first brain. Really? Who are you 3? You, IQ, and me. IQ is the smartest. I'm the best telepath, with teleport and illusion. You're the only brain who can build and happens to be competing in the firing range competition. The other students were now starting to take seats when Bioforce wanted to keep the conversation going. Do you think you'll be picked for the first team as anchor? I don't know. Well, yes I do. My father kind of gave it away. He thinks I was recruited as a leader. I'm not sure if it's true, but I'd like to think so, Darkspeed said. She looked at him and wondered if he had what it took to be a leader. To her, her father Shogun was a leader. He was like a living god who could do no wrong and always knew how to save the day. Shogun told her stories of how he wasn't always that way, about how he grew at Alpha. She remembered he said he was smarter than most, wanted to learn, serious about his assignment to Alpha, and was totally committed to being the best. Well, he was smart enough to defeat the other anchors without even getting hit, and seems to be serious enough. Maybe he could be a leader. The other 3 were looking at her while she thought. Bioforce patted her on the arm. Party line was turned back on. You can't turn the party line on without telling someone. She made a face that looked like someone walked into the bathroom on her. She shook it off quickly and went about what she wanted to do. You said your father let it slip. Do we know your father? Not unless you're from Utah. He's not part of the HU. Dad's old school. Runs a business, raises a family, and keeps a secret identity. Not a lot of independents like him left. He'd have to learn how to do everything himself. But I bet that made him resourceful, She said. He does most everything himself, although he has a lot of friends at the HU. That's how I think the HU kept tabs on me. Smart, serious, and the son of an independent. Who knows? He might make a good leader, She thought. Did your father help you develop your mental shield? Virtuoso asked. What's a mental shield? Darkspeed replied. You don't know you have a mental shield? No. Your mind has a defense against psionic-based intrusion, like telepathy or mind control. Really? Darkspeed turned and showed surprise for a moment. You're a mind reader, and you can't read my thoughts. If someone has a mental shield up, it usually means they're defending against someone or something. I thought you were trying to keep people out. So if I think of a number, you can't get it. Well, you think of a 3-digit number, and I'll try to get it out. Okay, go. Virtuoso summoned more power than she was used to using when reading minds and invaded Darkspeed's mind. Ow! Darkspeed said with a real grimace. Sorry, I know how your mental shield works now, Virtuoso said, trying to be comforting. My head really hurts, Darkspeed said with both hands pressing his temples. As fast as you heal, it will be fine in a moment. 451 was your number. Darkspeed snapped his head up. That's right.